where the 12 disciples were the ones that found themselves doing everything. And then they realized, now we don't even have time for the word and prayer. Because now we are the ones busy doing other things as well, other tasks. Because you'll find, if you're running a successful care group, there's many things that need to be done. And by the grace of God, I'll be articulating some of them as we go along. But there's many things that need to be done. And if you try and do them all by yourself, in the end you don't have time for the word and prayer, which are the most important investment, the spiritual aspects of what you are doing. And of course, in the process, you don't develop leaders, so you remain the only leader. That's the reason churches are not growing. Because there's one pastor, one minister in charge. They are the only ones in charge. But the whole purpose of this vision is for them, myself included, to raise you into a leader by giving you specific tasks. In this case, go start home churches. Go raise other leaders that will raise other leaders. And the church will grow. So it's a simple reason why the churches don't grow. Because the pastor or the minister tries to do everything. And because the church thinks that leading is about holding a microphone. But there are many tasks that need to be done for the church to grow. So if those tasks are delegated deliberately, intentionally, purposefully, and I repeat, the main task being that of starting a home church so that you can care for others. Because the pastor, as a pastor, I can't care for 100 people because I also have a family to take care of. I also have a job. I also have. So basically, if we don't take this care group strategy seriously, the church will never grow. In a nutshell. Yeah, it becomes a religious association that meets every Sunday to just listen to one person. And we are no different in that regard, with all due respect, from traditional churches. But the difference between a Pentecostal churches are supposed to be apostolic churches. Apostolic means sending churches. Means you win souls, you disciple them, you send them to fulfill the Great Commission. That's the difference between a charismatic church and a dying church. A dying church just goes to preach every Sunday. That's all. How are we different from traditional churches in that case? So this vision of raising champions through care groups that's the reason the devil has fought it so much. It is the key to the spread of the gospel. The care group or home church strategy is the key to the fulfillment of the Great Commission, the key to the spread of the gospel. But the devil doesn't want that to happen. So when you go back to your churches, don't be stifled in your growth just simply because it never gets talked about in your church. This should be the thing that should be talked about every Sunday. This should be the excitement. This should be the testimonies. But the devil has hidden it, this secret, to church growth or to the spread of the gospel. So you find people are excited about any other testimony. If someone buys a car, yay! But if someone testifies of starting a home church, oh. So we should be wary of the devil's devices and not be ignorant of the devil's devices. So I say this very strongly as an apostle over this house, because that is the reason for the lack of growth in churches. So please stop having meetings to discuss, why is the church, can we have a meeting to discuss, why is the church not growing? You're wasting your time. Just go grow the church. Just go do your part. Just go run your race, the church will grow. You don't need a meeting to grow the church. The apostolic was now coming out. So it comes with a passion and a burning desire and a burden. Because we are where we are today because somebody obeyed this instruction. So we should not be door stoppers today, stopping other people from coming to the kingdom. Right, can we read? With that introduction, I think you've gotten the whole picture. So don't get lost when you get to the nitty-gritties. When ministers decide, I hear it, when pastors decide to become leaders, I think this is what I'm talking about. They take an important stand. Because you can just be a pastor or just a minister of the gospel, but not a leader. When pastors or ministers, in this case, when leaders in training decide to become real leaders and not position holders, they take an important stand. They make a revolutionary decision in the way they perform their ministry. They no longer evaluate themselves only by what they themselves can do on a Sunday. Their value now depends on what they can get done through others. Put a star and underline, and that is the key to church growth. That is the secret to Christian growth. For you to grow spiritually as a Christian yourself. And in the process, when you grow, the church grows automatically. In the Old Testament, we call this the Jethro principle. Because Jethro was Moses' father-in-law. So Jethro came to visit Moses after God had called Moses. And he found Moses behaving like some of our pastors and ministers and leaders in training today, trying to do everything by himself. So he'd be having queues of people, like these false prophets are doing today, where people come and pay money for counseling or for prayer. That's nonsense, that. So Jethro came and told Moses, you are going to destroy yourself, you're going to self-destruct. So in Exodus 18, from verse 17 to 27, Jethro introduces this to Moses. And Moses' father-in-law, Jethro, said to Moses, the thing that you are doing is not good. You'll surely wear out both yourself and the people who are with you. For the task is too heavy for you. You cannot do it alone. Somebody say, you cannot do it alone. It will be the same with your care group. You cannot call people. These are the tasks that you need to do. You have to call people. You cannot invite people. Write this task all alone. You cannot follow them up. You cannot remind them every week. These are the tasks. Write them down. Invite, remind, follow up if they fail to come. If they come, take the register. And if they are constrained, pick them up. Prepare the snacks. Prepare the home church or the care group study, which is the word. Pray for everybody's needs. Follow up on those needs 2 days later. Just say, hey, we prayed about that headache. How are you feeling today? Already, off the top of my head, I've thought of 9 things that a leader has to do. A leader in training. 9 things. Every week you have to do these 9 things. Can you do it alone? Can you do it alone? Can you do it alone? No. So, that's why you have to delegate these 9 things to 9 people. The first 9 people that you have. Everyone, as they come, give them one of these tasks. 1 or 2, 1 or more. As you see, they are capacity or capability, including children. For example, you find children will be the best in inviting. Don't ignore them. They're the best in inviting their nieces, their cousins, their friends, their schoolmates. They're the best. Don't ignore them. That's how your whole church is going to grow. So everybody is important. Delegate tasks to them. So anyway, Jethro proceeded to give Moses wise counsel as to how he could delegate the workload to others. Like I have given you an example of what you're going to start to do to grow that whole church. And to multiply the amount of service being rendered to others. Can you see that? You're multiplying yourself by 9. If you have those 9 tasks being done by 9 people, you've multiplied yourself. Otherwise, if you're the only one doing that, then your ministry can only grow by addition. The scripture says, so Moses listened to his father-in-law and did all that he said. My prayer today is that these leaders in training may do all that I have said this afternoon. My prayer today is that all the leaders in training within the hearing of my voice may do all that which I have just assigned to them.
Amen.
I was checking whether you're with me. Many times in leadership, it is easy for the leader, next paragraph, it is easy for the leader to feel as if he or she must accomplish everything alone. However, as Jethro points out, and as Apostle has just pointed out in a home care setting, that will cause you to wear out. You will be tired. It's the same thing in the church. If you're trying to do everything, you will get tired. So, as a result, Moses made changes and began to equip others and to share the responsibilities. So my prayer today is that the leaders in training within the hearing of my voice may make changes and begin to equip others and start to share the responsibilities.
Amen.
7 changes that you will need to make to become a leader and not just a minister or a shepherd or a pastor. Number 1, he became a man of prayer. So from here, you're going to have to pray. And I pray that last night you prayed, or this morning or tonight you will pray about everything you've been taught, starting from yesterday. You have to pray for yourself. It won't just happen because these are spiritual matters that we are discussing, and they are accomplished spiritually. He became a man of prayer. He says there in verse 19, now listen to me, I shall give you counsel, and God will be with you. This is Moses talking to the people. You be the people's representative before God, and you bring the disputes to God. So, taking matters to God is what we call prayer. So you have to start by praying for yourself to have insight and understanding over those 9 tasks, for example, that you will have to do for your what? For your care group. Number 2, Moses committed himself to communication. Hey, somebody say, hey.
Hey.
This is where HPMI is weak. We have meeting after meeting, we discuss strategy but no communication. After the meeting, everybody goes home and forgets. Once upon a time, I could understand because it was expensive, but to communication. But today, we have no excuse. Tell everybody to have a WhatsApp, a smartphone. Tell everybody in your group to not buy a weave next month or next 2 months. Instead of a weave, tell them buy a smartphone. Tell them that's where the world is. The world is not in a weave. The world is in a smartphone. Are you hearing?
Yes.
I'm not encouraging you to have a smartphone. I'm instructing you. Because otherwise, Christians, we will be left behind.
That's right.
Are you understanding?
Yes.
We'll be left behind. The world is in those things. This is where the world is. Christians must get up. And the Bible says, go ye into all the world. This is where the world is now. So, communicate. Communicating doesn't mean you just wait for the apostles' insights. That's not communication. By the way, I've done my part. But you, leader in training, you must do your part. Margaret does a brilliant job of that. After she receives the insights, she also interprets them as the Spirit of God leads her, and she's doing her part. She is communicating what she's hearing from God to others. So, communication, I can't overemphasize this one. If you're going to have a growing church or a growing circle, you have to be the best communicator. You have to be a non-stop communicator. How many people say how much I communicate even on this testimony? Because that's where I see everybody globally. That's feeding the sheep. That's instructing the sheep and giving them direction. Because the sheep need direction. If you don't, let me tell you something. If you don't communicate, the devil is busy communicating to them 24/7. And he's going to useless things. So the church can't sleep. The church has to keep people focused. Teaching them the statutes and the laws of God and making known to them the way in which they are to walk and the work they are to do. Underline that. That is the secret to successful leadership. That is the Great Commission. Teaching them to observe whatsoever I have commanded. Put a star, underline them. For you to have a growing church, that's where it is. If you see a pastor who never communicates, don't be surprised. The church is not growing. Because you can't expect your child to grow if you never talk to them. You have a baby. You talk to them every time you instruct. No, don't do this. No, go this way. No, hold the cup this way. No, this is how you do your hair. That's why the child grows. If you're the mother who is always like, do you expect normal development out of that child? It's the same thing with you as the leader in training. If you never communicate with your cell group, or if your pastor never communicates with you, or your minister never communicates with you, the only communication you